All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order at exactly 7:29. So we did not have a quorum at last meeting. But there were. Erica did provide, a review of a transcript of the discussions that we did have, and we have the meeting minutes from the prior meeting. I was wondering if we just wanted to approve the minutes from the September meeting, because we have a quorum now without reading them.
Sure.
So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting.
All in favor? Or seconded?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
I abstain.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we want to have Erica read the minutes from, or the review of the discussion from our last meeting, or should we just take that on board? It's up to you guys. Is everybody set then?
Yeah, bro.
All right, in that case, we'll just move forward.
Do we have to specify the motion or no, because there were
They weren't really official.
It's not official, I just think,
so we
yeah,
don't have to.
yeah. All right, so to move on, let's talk about expenditures for the month of October. For the period, we had clerk expenses of $93. We had seasonal employment for putting the boat away. The $100 fee for miscellaneous other was we needed to file a Mylar survey map for the temporary easement we got on that little parcel next to the dam. So I'll remember the engineers, a piece of all that property had been left out and we needed to be able to operate on it. So we got a temporary easement. To do that, you need a Mylar. To file it with the clerk, you need a Mylar print, so that's $100. And then we have boating expenses of $1,494, which is basically the winterizing of the boat. Any comments or questions? Okay. Dick, thanks for helping do that.
Yeah, no problem. It was quick this year, got it done early. As soon as we took the boat in, a week or so later, they called me up.
It was all done?
All done.
Perfect.
Good.
Like that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yep. I don't ask, I just take it over and pick it up in spring.
Embankment repairs update. It was complete. They finished up. They took the backhoe away on November 1st. They did a real, from my point of view, other than I thought they did a nice job in terms of the overall. They were very careful on how they set the blocks, and they had to pour cement in some sections to make sure, because there's no, apparently, that if you look at where this sluice gate is, and there's like cement below that, underneath that slab, just in front of it, there's nothing underneath that. There's no footings deeper. So ours, we went down 2 feet, below to bolster both sides. So our side is pretty secure. As secure as the dam is, that's for sure. But I think they did a nice job. It wasn't in the contract to really finish off the top.
Right. I'm sorry for saying something. I had him at my house, and we had been texting. So I just took it upon myself to
Don't be sorry.
text Tom and say, it can't be zhuzhed up. I didn't know how to spell zhuzhed up. But they did a great job on, what they did do.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll cover over with
Yeah.
grass and stuff over.
Yeah.
We're talking about on top of the blocks between that and like the old fence. They just dumped whatever rock was there and it doesn't look,
So
you
there's
can
no
finish it.
topsoil?
Pardon?
No topsoil?
No, there was never topsoil there before because
No.
it's pretty much rock. They redid and put topsoil down where they had backhoe.
Oh, okay.
They gotta put a fence on top of those blocks on them.
No, that wasn't in the, no. I mean, that, nobody had discussed that or suggested that was needed. We have a fence there now. And you can walk around it. You can put a fence on top of the,
Split rail, you can walk around.
yeah, you can,
Yeah.
well, we could put a fence on top of the other blocks and still,
No, I was just curious if they were gonna do it.
no,
It's
that is not in the cards so
My
far.
problem.
Happy?
They've been unresponsive. I'll get to that in a minute, talking about the notice of violation, but, no, I don't know. I hope they are.
Well, we're still on it. What happened to that tree? Is that easement go that far over where you can take that tree out of there? They
No.
took down a big, nice tree there.
Our guys didn't take down a tree.
Well, somebody did there where they were working.
There wasn't, all they did, actually, I was amazed. They brought this machine in between the fence and his trellis.
Yep.
And just backed it right up. And, didn't touch anything else. So maybe they had a tree taken down.
Well, I don't know how far over the easement goes, but there was always a big, nice cherry tree there, and all of a sudden it's gone. I mean, something was big around. Oh, yeah? Got it right down.
Our guys didn't take, I mean, our contractor didn't take that out.
Right, they only did what they said.
Said they were gonna do, yeah.
It just seemed curious because, it was done just before the machine.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised how neatly they could do all that. Yeah, it's nicely done. Review of the lake drawdown. I think overall drawdown's gone fine, other than there's no rain to bring the lake back up. Dennis, thanks for your taking care of all that and keeping everybody notified on the process. I still haven't heard any complaints about or about wells going dry. Good. And over the course of the last month, I was talking with Martha Shoemaker. She hasn't heard any, and Dave hasn't heard any either. So I'm surprised.
It's unusual.
My neighbors don't have water.
They don't?
That I live across the street. But that happened last time.
Yeah.
They used to
Okay.
down there do a lot of-
What are they doing for water? Okay.
How much rain do you think will be required to fill it back up?
Seven inches. Yeah. About, a little more.
Because an inch of rain increases the lake level more than an inch, right?
Yeah, about 2 or 3.
Right.
But the problem with the GAT calculation is the land is so dry right now, it's gonna suck it all up. So we barely get 1 for 1 right now, right?
0.4 inches of rain we got the other night.
This is nothing.
It barely left some, scale because it was light and it just soaked in. There was no runoff.
So yeah, it's gonna be a bit.
The spring would be interesting if we don't get any storms or snow.
And I'm surprised the lake has stayed
Yeah,
at
I've
this
been
level.
watching.
We drew it down to 0.93
Yeah.
and now it's up to 1
It's been right in that same.
And so
area.
there's groundwater coming in
Mhm.
enough that it's
Taking care of the
It's a lot of
evaporation.
evaporation, and it's keeping up with the evaporation and the fish ladder or something.
Yeah. That's a minimal drain, but yeah, the fish ladder's still open. So,
It's the fish lights still open, they close it.
no, they'd
Well,
like
actually,
to have
water down
some
there.
water going downstream, although we found out today that, that Dennis you were talking to the guy that bought the house on the left-hand side of,
Looking downstream.
looking downstream across
Oh,
the
that
road.
property that was for
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah,
The water level is coming up in the creek there. It came up about 6 to 12 inches under his new bridge, that bridge he redid. The water level's coming up.
Why was it coming up?
I theorized that there's a beaver dam down there.
oh, did you see, there is.
Has it been before?
Yeah, and Andrew walked down, Andrew, our guy from Yale, McDonald, was up today.
Oh, you are.
And he had his waders on, so he walked down and he texted after he went for his walk, there's a new beaver dam down there. He said he punched a hole in it, but he knows that's not gonna last long.
Yeah.
So that's why the water's coming up.
But that guy is, the guy that bought that property, he's a good guy.
Okay,
And he just happened, because I introduced myself, he's got my contact information. He told me, and then I just let Kevin and Andrew know, and they chatted back and forth. Good.
yeah,
Couldn't ask for more response than that.
no, that was perfect. Okay, any other questions on the lake drawdown? So the status of the notice of violation, we did receive the notice of violation on the 17th of October. It's dated as of the 1st. I think I sent you all copies of that. Basically, the requirements of to remedy the notice of violation. We're supposed to continue to operate the dam under the current operating and maintenance program, and at no time is the water surface elevation to be below the spillway elevation unless it's drought, which they recognize we're in right now. They required us to perform the improvements to the embankment by November 1, which we have done, and I've sent them pictures to that effect. Within 90 days, we're supposed to submit a complete water diversion application to DEEP. The application requires justification for continuing flood control releases and a revision of the operating and maintenance plan to mitigate any impact of a drawdown of using the sluice gate on migrating fish. We also have to, within 30 days of the notice, issue a compliance statement stating what we're doing, what steps we're taking to, meet their requirements. We have sent the initial one in within both Martha and I have to sign compliance statements saying what we're doing. We've done that. Along in that submission to them, I noted that while they sent the letter as of October 1, we got it on the 17th, which wasn't, terribly helpful. And then also it's most likely going to take us more than 90 days to complete the water diversion application because we need funding to do that. We have to go through the whole funding process. And I'll get back to that in a minute. Actually, I'm going to get back to that right now. The water diversion application is sort of it's one application, but one major part of it is the justification, which would be the hydrology study. And I realized I hadn't sent this out to you. We got a bid or a quote from Jacobson to do the hydrology study. And the task is primarily to look at the soil compositions of basically the west side of the lake and those areas that have been affected by high water table. And to determine if that high water table is due to the high water level of the lake, and also to what extent that high water table has an effect on potential sewer systems or well systems. And the cost for doing that is, I think, $10,000.
Yes.
I didn't send this out to you because I'd asked them when I requested this to also provide us services to provide, to do the application for the water diversion. And it's been taking him forever to get back to me with that number. I have a current verbal estimate between $5,000 and $10,000. He's going out. They have to get a different consultant, somebody that they haven't done one of these diversions applications in a long time. So so I still don't have that in writing in a definition. So I'm kind of torn at this point. I would like, well, a couple of things. One, we need to go in front of finance because we don't have $10,000 or $20,000 to approve to pay for this at the moment. Two, I think definitely they have to do the hydrology study. I'm trying to figure out how much of the application we can do that we could do internally, and just use them for part of it to help bring down part of that cost.
Mark, do we have the application template?
I do. It's all, I can send them. Yes. So.
Like, is it?
This is the application form part. Well, it is and it isn't. So this is a 7-page document.
Okay.
That I can sort of read you off the requirements so I can find my notes.
There's a lot of hydrology studies from the chemicals. Town did that through that. I wonder if they would have any records of it.
We had to do that for the chemical treatment? We had to do that for the chemical treatment?
Initially, they may have do that.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make sure
Right.
it didn't impact wells.
Effectively, they just said the water doesn't back up to the wells, the water runs past the wells through the lake. But there was a study done during that time.
How long ago was that, or what
Well, when
approximate
When
year?
they first started the chemicals, because the town hired an engineering firm that did all these studies.
4 years, 4 or 5.
More, way more.
Oh, yeah. 10, 12
And,
years.
We haven't been treating the lake that long.
well, this was before they started. This was in the process
to get ready for
to
it.
get ready for it. We finally threw it out of committee, threw it to the town's lap. They hired some outfit, it took 2 years to,
Because I've been
Of
here 10
studies.
years, and we weren't treating them.
Yeah, but it took, a number of years
yeah.
to get all these studies done because people kept raising the flag here.
So is
That was
there
back when Bonnie,
expiration on it?
that's when Bonnie was selectman on that.
No, I mean, there shouldn't be, but I can ask the town if there's hydrology studies that would, that they still have those.
So
But they
part
would
of,
have to keep it for a certain number of years, right?
I know we went through a lot of that back then.
They just,
Okay, I'll look. So just some of the steps that we have to do for this. We have to do a pre-submission consultation within, we have to notify the National Diversity Database. Those are basically the people that track our freshwater pond mussels. So we're already in that database. We know what species are here, but we still have to tell them that we're making this application. We also have to notify fisheries and talk with them about what we're doing, which they already know, but that's part of this application process. Ultimately, there has to be public notices, and we have to develop a mitigation plan, which is basically a revision and updating of the operations and maintenance manual that we drafted and approved quite a while ago. And there's a whole bunch of there's a hydraulic summary that has to be done. There's, this is 7 pages long, but there's, on the back page, there's a list of probably 12 attachments that have to be filled in and acquired as well. Some of which we could do, some of which we will need help on.
So you can't just pick 3 of the 12, it has to be all 12?
Well, some of them are acquired and some are dependent upon what you're going for. I'm happy to send these to you, but so you can see what they are.
What will the end result be when you do this submission? What will we be allowed to do?
Divert water, open the gate.
Anytime we want?
No, it'll be subject to the rules that we've developed, right? So we're going to...
Subject to our plan, our mitigation plan?
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Which is updating the process, right?
Yeah.
Process and procedure?
Yeah, the current, yes.
So that permitting that I had heard about, where you had to get a permit every time you wanted to open it, that might go away?
That would go away. Because right now, we could still file 7 days in advance for a permit to do this, to open it. But except now that we're under this notice of violation, I'm not sure that other permitting process of 7 days in advance, every time we wanted to do it, would be available to us. Now, this would be a permanent approval to allow us to open it when, given all the criteria that we've laid out. So that would be the goal of this.
Okay.
Having spent basically a good half of the day going through all this paperwork of what's required, I think I'm going to get in the next day or so is sit down with the engineers and walk through this and say, okay, what can we do? What can you do? And I may lean on you guys for some help to, once we sort of sort that out. But it's, my concern is we've theoretically got about 45 days to finish this. And I don't think that's going to happen. But I want to get started and I want to get in front of finance so that we can get the money to at least get started.
Mhm.
And is that letter of violation, say what the fine is?
The fines are $1,000, up to $1,000 a day if we are not meeting their requirements, which is really vague. So I think if we were just doing nothing, they could try to impose that. I think as long as we're in good faith working to do things, I would be surprised if they tried to fine us $1,000 a day. But there's no fine related to the fish. There's no fines related to any of the prior activities. Right now, it's for not meeting the criteria that they've laid out. And go ahead.
I'm just thinking to go in front of finance. So, say we open, there's a big storm coming, we open sluiceway, we leave it open for 2 days. Is that equivalent to $2,000? And then,
No.
No, we wouldn't be if,
if we didn't do anything.
if we never responded to them?
Oh.
And they fine us.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we could open it, you know, it's gonna cost us 20,000. We could open it 20 times, 20 days.
no, it's not opening it. No, what
It's
this
in
is,
the paperwork.
if I hadn't responded in 30 days to their initial request for like us saying that we were doing something, theoretically, they could have started charging us $1,000 a day as of that day. So it's not operating the gate, it's not complying with the notice of
So right
violation.
now, we're not supposed to touch the gate at all.
No, that's not right. The first part of this was that during this period, we're operating under the operations and maintenance program that we currently have, with the qualification that at no time do we allow the,
To go below.
the spillway.
Oh, okay.
So we still have to notify everybody and tell them what we're doing and not,
Oh, okay.
okay? So we can open it if we need to. We need to notify people, and we have to be diligent about, once the water finally does go over the spillway again, not letting it go down because of our fault.
I was just from a finance point of view.
Oh, yeah,
Is it better to just pay the fine and
Yeah,
get the hell
yeah,
out of
right.
it?
yeah. No, not in this case, because the fine has to do with the violation, not the operation. So I guess where I am at this point is I'm going to try to sit down and get some final numbers with the engineers as to what we can do. And then probably have a special meeting to this group to approve what our requests for those funds are going to be, so we can go in front of finance. So my thought would be to give the normal notice as a special meeting. It's one item to discuss this. We could probably do it all over the phone, and I'll send you all the paperwork ahead of time.
Mhm.
That
Sounds
works
like a
for
plan.
people.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's as good as I can do at this point. I mean, what kills me is that the whole damn thing with the permitting and all that stuff cost about $20,000, and now it's going to cost us $20,000 to get a permit to use it. I mean, that's just crazy. But that's the way it is.
Inflation.
I don't know what that is, but it's, yeah, I mean, luckily, we don't have to notify the Army Corps. Yeah, it's just, it's a testimony in bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So that, unless there's any other questions on that, and I'd be happy if any of you want to see these forms, I'm happy to forward them to you. If you want to take a look. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, sure. Because you end up having to look up, it's like any government thing, you have to look up the definitions before you can,
Right,
all right?
understand the question.
Yes. All right. I lost my place.
New business, I think.
Yep. Where's new business? I just remember it's in my paper. Here we go. New business. There are no lake events. So I'd like to go over the proposed budget for it's 2025 2026. I got that down. It's for the fiscal year 2025, 2026. Right? No, it's 20, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Coming up.
Sorry about that. And I'm sorry, I did, I somehow in grabbing all these papers, I didn't pick up the copies of the budget for you. We can do it two ways. I could walk you through the numbers right now. I'm supposed to give them something by December 1, but we can change numbers. It's not final. I think what would be easiest to do would be, so in that column where it says current year budgeted, I'm going to read you some numbers to go next to that. Okay? So, where it says current budgeted year, there's $4,000. Put a 0 there. For clerk, put the same amount, 1,300. For dues, it's the same amount, 200. For seasonal employment, I'm bumping that to 13,000. Water testing is the same, 8,500. Weed treatment and survey, I'd like to, I was thinking of increasing that, bear with me. I was going to bump that to 8,000. The contracted services, that's 0. Miscellaneous others, still 3,000. The docking fee, Tom hit us for $25 a month, so that's 900. Education and training stays at 4,200. And the boat stays at 4,500. So that totals 43,620. I went through, and we are actually right on. If you look at the only numbers that are changing really are the seasonal employment. If you look what we have left if you go back to we have a balance remaining this year of 5,037. That's 201 hours. And that, I think, May and June would normally be, about 190 hours. So we're close there. So I bumped it by a little bit in case we, there isn't too much rain, or just to give us a little bit of cushion there. And we're dropping the 4,000 for the launch supervisor. So I think we're,
You don't need that?
we haven't had one, and it seemed to work okay.
Okay.
I think what we're doing, what worked this year pretty well was to have that group text that everybody was on. And I think in conjunction with that, we're going to do a Google Calendar, which shows who signed up for when, so we know who's supposed to be there when. I think hopefully that will work.
Didn't the season end early this year because of the drawdown? Yes?
Yeah, a little bit. No, we went through 11. We went through September 11th, and I think we drew it down we went through the weekend, and we started drawing down on the 16th. 16th. So we went through the 15th, which is.
Yeah.
Don't we normally, isn't it like the first weekend in October that the boat? The only reason why I ask is that enough going up to 13K? If there's we don't have drawdown next year? Do we need more there? You think it's fine?
Yeah, I think, well, how many, bear with me. That's 700. I just want to do the math quick.
Yeah, thank you.
You get the rainy days.
Yeah, so that's 28 hours. So that's a couple of weekends and a few nights. That's so it's 16 hours over a weekend. We could bump it a little
700.
by increasing it 700.
Okay, all right. Everybody's good with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
It works this year.
it worked. Oh, yeah. You mean about increasing it? I don't know.
Determining we're sticking.
Yeah.
Doesn't the town gives all employees an automatic increase.
This isn't included in that. I'm pretty sure.
It's seasonal.
I'm sure they didn't jump with the other people as much as we did.
Yeah, we've never heard of the town doing that before.
Doesn't the clerk get a raise?
They never know when season starts.
No, okay.
It's lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I asked for the increase, they said something about that being not scale or not, you know,
Okay.
not a specific job. So I was thinking 25 seemed to work okay still,
Mhm.
but if people think we can raise, want to,
No, I think that's fine.
No,
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Going back now.
yeah, no, it worked well.
My only thing is going down from asking, like, having a budget of almost 65,000 now going down to 43. I mean,
It's because we don't have that 19,000 for the contracted services for the clan.
yeah, I realize that.
But you're going back in for 20.
Yeah, we're also hitting them for 20.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's just,
if they complain about the 20, tell them our budget
but
is
it's coming down.
coming down by almost the same amount.
Oh, I like that argument.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You all said it.
You talked briefly about the possibility of getting help pulling the invasive weeds. Is that something to consider?
We did, I thought we were gonna do it.
We were, but when we were out in the water, we were trying to think of clever ways.
To get other people to do it.
Didn't the scouts offer that helps or some sort of merit badge by doing something like that, helping us out?
That's part of what we were talking about, and then there's, if we do that, are we okay for liability and supervision and so forth?
The scoutmaster is there too, and parents all agree. And they all wear vests.
So maybe that's not a budget item, but it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. We should get the,
And the educational component.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For the rowers who use the lake.
yeah. I'm sure we could actually tap that. Because we should do that next year. That's a good idea. I'm sure they'd be willing to help. We just got to show them what to pull.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure everything will come up.
Absolutely. No.
So that's the draft proposed budgets. Are there any questions or comments? If there isn't, then I'll submit this for the initial draft. The other part is the capital budget, and what we've had on that the last few years is in 2026, 2027, we buy a new boat. Last year we had it for 35,000. I'm thinking 40. now.
Mhm.
I had kicked around the idea with Dick, Dennis, and our two patrol guys about maybe just repowering the boat,
I mean, the new
Just-
engine?
just putting a new engine on. And the two operating guys were thinking that might be a good idea. I was talking with Dick just before the meeting, and he pointed out that that way you basically have an extra engine. If you wait it out a year, you can buy a new boat, sell the old boat, get something for that as a unit with a trailer and all of that, and be, clean for quite a while going forward. So, a new engine's going to cost, I don't know, $15,000 or $20,000 on its own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you get it installed and the controls and all of
Then
that.
you better hope when you buy the boat, that motor's gonna work on that boat. Now you gotta pay to put it on, take it off of one, put it
Yeah.
on another, and you got a lot of expense. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I thought the new boat would come with the new motor.
Oh, it would, but you can buy a boat without an engine. I mean, if you have one.
If
But-
you're gonna put a new engine on that boat, and with the years, you can put another new motor.
Yeah. I mean, the other tricky thing is the controls come with the engine.
Yep.
So you have to rerun all that stuff.
Is the current boat structurally sound other than the engine?
Yeah.
It's-
There's no
Okay,
problem.
no holes in it, no crack.
It floats.
Floats,
It
okay,
floats. It
okay.
floats. Yeah. It does all right.
Okay,
But,
Can it be rebuilt rather than replacing the engine?
It could run fine.
that engine gets way more wear than the normal recreational outboard because it's, operating all days, Saturdays, Sundays, and evenings. I mean, most people don't put more than 100, 200 hours on their boat in a year. And we're doing that every couple of months. So it's since, it's a 2007, I think. Yeah. So,
Was the engine giving them no problem?
we had Sonny did a lot of work on it last summer.
Yeah,
I think he finally got it sorted out. He had a coil that he replaced,
right.
and he did a bunch of other stuff.
Nothing major, just all small stuff.
All small stuff.
It was a starter.
Yeah, we put a new starter in it, put a new coil in it, I think new prop.
We gotta do something about that, because they already ruined the other new one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's operator
Get
error
somebody to
to drive.
drive right. Them things are $200 a crack, every time you check the prop.
Yeah, that,
Put two new ones on this year.
well, they might have done one other thing. He did some other minor things to it, but
Because when you take the cover off, the inside of that engine is pristine.
yeah,
I mean, and the way they service it every year when they put it away for the winter, I mean, they just would do about everything to it. They put stuff on there that you would never put on the life of the motor. They put it every year, they change.
Yeah.
Right down to the washers. Oh, can't put that washer back and put a new one on.
really?
Oh, yes.
All right.
They really, that's why it costs so much to winter.
Well, unless somebody disagrees or has strong feelings, I think we'll just go with getting a new patrol boat or putting that down as in a future budget. It won't be for next year, to be the year after.
so
Okay?
they won't see it, they will be well after the 20K.
Yes, it'll be well after the 20K. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep, and hopefully we'll keep it
Keep it running, yeah.
running for another 2 years.
Yeah, he was a good mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually, I'm talking to him, he's doing more training courses in small engines for his other jobs. So,
If you get new or used, and if used, is it better to buy engine seat?
Usually if you're gonna buy a boat, it's better to buy it at the end of the season, right? Because people will, if they don't sell it, they're gonna have to store it.
Right, we've got convenient storage. So.
Yeah.
This
You mean-
boat was used.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
And we got it from Reynolds, I guess. Probably.
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a used boat
All right. Well, we'll see.
that,
Yeah. Oh, I think we'll see what's available when we get there. Yeah, I was thinking new, but,
Always look for a good used one again, too.
yeah, no, if we can find a good used one, that's great.
I think, for, well, Reynolds is in service in it, but, you know, if you could find somebody up there, let them know we're looking for something,
Yeah,
Become a problem.
yeah.
for what we use it for, getting news, and
Isn't necessary.
it's not a
Okay,
necessity.
good point, good
Think
point.
about the prop comment.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we don't put a lot of abuse on it either. We're not running around screaming all over the place and everything else, it's mostly.
Yeah, it's just idling.
around.
Yeah, puddling around. Okay, so we'll go with 40 if we can get it cheaper later, that's great. Because they haven't balked at the 35 or 40 before, so. And I'll submit those numbers for December. We'll have a chance to review and see how things go, if anything else comes up. I sent you all copies of the freshwater mussel pond survey. I don't know if anybody wants to, I mean, it's good news in that the population is increasing, small as it is. I think that should answer any of Deep's issues about, how the report reflects on our operation of our care of the lake really well. So that's good. So if you're all comfortable with it, I send it to you, right? No, I'll send it to you. I will, we'll send it to Deep and get it posted on the website.
Also, part of that other requirement for getting the other permit.
Yep. Yep.
It's part of the national diversity.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, if everybody's comfortable with it, we'll move forward.
I am.
Okay.
Put it up on the website.
Yeah. All right. That leaves us with proposed, both towns want us to get them our meeting dates for calendar 2025. So all these dates are hopefully the second Wednesday in every month, if I get them right. Valentine's Day isn't in there, so that helps.
I looked at that.
So, it falls just where they always would have fallen, given our normal schedule, if people are comfortable with that.
Good, yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, is there any other comments or questions or things that we need? What's up?
Any news on a replacement for Manisha, or is the town hall and select people too busy with other stuff?
Ask Tom Bear to come back.
I don't know who that is.
You don't want.
I got a text from someone. They're not in my phone, but they clearly have my number. And I think it might be one of the guys from Sandy Beach. And said, hey, I understand there's an opening on RLA. Is it still open?
Oh, I can't be. Why?
Well, I said, yes, but it has to, because I didn't know who it was. I said, yes, it's open, but it has to be for an old Lyme resident. And the individual said, oh, I thought so. I don't know who it is, because they're not in my phone.
Okay.
but they had my number.
Did you
I'm surprised
Google their
Dave White's
number?
not there.
Did you Google their number?
No, because
Pardon?
you don't
I'm
sell
surprised
my
Dave White
come up
didn't
this
apply.
Yeah, I think that all died
They
down.
can, they can.
Yeah.
Dave Eber's wife was.
That's what I'm saying, I'm
Yeah.
surprised, you know,
I
that
think-
died down
I think
now.
that settled down because of the slow
Yeah.
Yeah. The, I did talk to Martha about it. She did reach out to Greg,
Greg,
the guy that works, that's
the
part
vet,
of the,
Blood Street School.
Blood Street Skulls, and I think he's too busy. He's a veterinarian.
And good thing he didn't come.
And she was going to put it in her newsletter, you know, her Friday
Mm-hmm,
thing,
mm-hmm,
but she wanted to wait for all the election brouhaha to go over.
okay.
So hopefully we'll see that soon.
Hey, what about the guy that's buying the house that raised the flag about the water coming up down there? That just bought that property? He was, you know, when I talked to him, he's very interested in the lake. Right on, you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't been.
Just, you know, ask him again, if you could, you know.
What's his, do you remember what he used to do, or is he retired?
Yes, he's retired now.
I was just looking for what the skill set was.
Right, right.
I want to say a lawyer, but I'm not.
No.
He's got my email.
Well,
But he was,
yeah,
you know, right now he doesn't live in,
No, I know he doesn't need out. You know.
but he owns property.
Yep.
right.
And so, and I know he's filing all kinds of permits and
It's
stuff.
tough to come. Okay.
Is he going to move here after his renovation?
2025, he told me he's gonna be here
Okay, because
full time.
it'd be a bummer to have somebody on the board and then they can't make half the meetings because they're in,
Wherever.
you know,
Yeah.
Branford, I don't know.
No, he's close by.
Okay.
He's up Route 9,
Okay,
East Haddam.
okay,
Okay.
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 All right.
I'm-
No,
Yeah.
But, you know, he's, in talking with him, you know, and when I've been over to Dan, and he's come over, and
Mhm.
Huh?
It's nice to have a variety of expertise.
yeah, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
love to grab another lawyer
Yeah.
for expertise.
I'll have to look. I know he told me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And were there two rowers who were interested? There was Chris, the veterinarian, who we mentioned is too busy. And then there was another fellow who's an orthodontist, rower, very tall person.
He came to the,
He came to a meeting.
Yeah.
Gary knows his last name, I'm
Hack.
forgetting.
Hack, yeah. Greg
Yes.
Hack is the.
yeah.
Greg Hack
Yeah.
was the one that is too
Oh,
busy. Greg,
okay.
it's Greg, not Gary. Greg. Yeah, he's
There
too
was
busy.
Chris, the veterinarian, who was here for a meeting.
Meeting, yeah, and I think he's just interested. I don't know. Well,
That's the one I thought, because didn't he show up and we had to say, oh, sorry.
no, there was Greg Hack that was appointed to a position that wasn't open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg would be good if he's not busy, but this, Chris, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his last name. was
Chris
the,
McCauley?
The
Was that?
the vet who came to a meeting, I'm sorry, not,
Didn't know I'm ready.
I don't have my normal notebook with me.
I think I'm not positive.
I'll try to run him down and see.
Yeah, that's Chris McCall, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with me last year, shook hands.
Yeah,
And the people who,
oh, yeah, they're too,
no,
yeah. I don't think
two,
so.
okay,
I mean, they know about it. I think they're too
okay.
busy
Mm-hmm,
with the whole rowing thing.
mm-hmm,
She's involved in a couple other things.
all right.
She's on a few other boards in the
Yeah,
town, if I remember correctly.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Chris McCauley lives on Bill Hill Road in Lawrence.
Yeah,
Oh, these lines,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's no good.
So if you, well, we can run it into this guy and then see if anybody has any other ideas.
Mhm.
Um,
You want two people from the same house.
What did he say, Rob?
All right. I don't think she
Yeah.
wants to get moved.
But I'm dealing with elderly parents.
Okay, no, so there's no other
Okay,
update on that.
all righty.
Okay,
And I know we have had the election, and I know she's very busy also with the Lime Building Committee and things like that. We had a meeting earlier.
so, okay, so hopefully I'll be back to you shortly with, to set up a time for a meeting to review the proposal for the application, what the cost for the application, and what we can run through that. Is evenings good for most of you? I mean, I'll give you as much notice as I can. But,
Yep.
All right. If there aren't any other questions or comment, I'll ask for a motion to
Motion to adjourn?
adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.